Hi, this is Jessica with Starkweather Association Services, your partner in solving membership management problems. Welcome to part 2 of our SEO series designed to help you jumpstart your plan to increase your web presence and bring new prospects to your site. In our complimentary SEO for Associations guide, we shared that the best time to implement SEO is when you're launching or redesigning a website. If you want to check out this guide, be sure to click the link in the description. Now, you've probably heard of SEO and you know that it's important to have your organization searchable on the web to drive more members and more traffic, but it might seem daunting to get started. What if you're not knowledgeable in this field? Maybe it's not part of your position. And what if your site has been set up for a while and SEO was never a consideration until now? How do you get it to work with the technology that you already have, like your AMS, your membership? Well, that's okay, because Starkweather is here to guide you, and that's exactly what we're going to show you today. We know you're strapped for time. We know that learning the tools of SEO might present a learning curve, so we're going to break it down to the essentials so you can get started right away. And once you get these basics down, it can be part of your ongoing content creation process. If you need extra help, Starkweather can serve as an extension of your team, providing training or advanced support to complete these tasks for you. Now, how you start implementing SEO will depend on the platform your website is hosted on. Today, we're going to tackle how to do it in your membership AMS. But one thing that is independent of the platform is determining your keywords. Keywords are the foundation of SEO, and we discussed this in the first video of this series. If you haven't watched it yet, the link is also in the description, so be sure to watch that first so that you understand this concept before continuing with today's video. Now, the main content pieces in YM are custom pages, which you can find here. In part 1, we discussed that you'll want to come up with keywords unique to each page. Once you have your keywords, you will incorporate them into the body, the content of the page, and a few other areas. So let's start by looking at an example custom page that we've already set up. And this one just so happens to be about SEO. Now, our keywords when we started designing this page are SEO, your membership, and web pages. So you might see them showing up in a lot of places here. The first area we want to look at is the page ID. This is what is used to generate the URL or the link to the website. So when I open up this link, this is the URL. It adds the page ID to the URL. It's important to have your keywords in the page ID, but maybe not all of them. We only included the most important ones here. And you also want to notice that we separated them with a dash, which is the preferred way for a search engine to index your content. The page ID is the most important technical step when you're optimizing your content for search engines. So make sure you give this your attention. The reason it's important is because it shows up in the search results, and if a user just happens to see that the link contains some of the same keywords that they searched for, their brain will see that and make that connection. Oh yeah, this is what I'm looking for, so they'll be more likely to click your link. Ideally, the page ID, this portion of it, should be no more than 30 characters. So that's why we chose not to include all of our keywords here. Let's take a look at the next technical step, which is the meta title. The meta title is what is shown in your browser's tab as the title of the page or the name of the page. And this is also one of the top elements that a search engine looks for when they are returning pages related to the user's search. In YM, one of the first things that you do when creating a page is you give it a title right here. And then that will correlate with the meta title, but it doesn't sync up if you change it later. So I want to show you how to edit that directly. You want to go to the Settings tab, and then scroll down here. You will see the meta title. So make sure you have your title here. Now, again, you want to use your keywords and keep it short, just like the page ID. Although in this example, we have a little bit more characters to work with, so we did include all of our keywords here this time. SEO for your membership web pages. Another important step on this page is to make sure that your page is searchable. I have a funny story about this. The reason this is important is because this has to be turned on in order for a search engine to pick up this page as a public page, or even the search within YM. The YM page also has its own search just within your website content. But for any page that you have that should be publicly accessible, you're going to want this set to yes. I was doing a little test with this page that we created about SEO, and I was searching on our site and I couldn't find it. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is such a bad example. We should be better than this. But I realized it's because I never turned this on. It will default to no when you create a new page. So make sure that becomes part of your process so you don't run into that mistake like I did. Now, those are the 3 steps we want to cover today. Page ID, meta title, and searchable. We recommend training your employees on these steps so they go through it every time a new page is created. That way, SEO becomes part of your rhythm. And if questions arise as you go through these steps, just remember that Starkweather has SEO expertise on our staff. We can answer questions, share best practices, we can train your staff, or even complete these tasks for you. We're here to support you in increasing your rankings on the web so that you can share your services with the audience that needs you. If you need our help, reach out to us at starkweather.us or send us an email at engage@starkweather.us. We'll see you next week.